Welcome to another episode of The Modern Hotelier. We're excited to release this conversation with the 2026 winner of the NYU SPS Incubator, Bakhtawer Baloch, the founder of Clairdoc. David, what were some of your favorite takeaways from this conversation?
Well, first, super excited for her. I was one of the mentors that worked with her and felt very strongly that she had a great chance to win. Super smart, great background, great overall person. So I'm excited for her, and I'm looking forward to seeing what she does in the future.
Really impressive. She's just, like you said, super smart. And I really like this product, something to kind of help through the insurance claims. We've all been there where things get stuck throughout the process or missing and everything just takes longer. So definitely utilizing AI the right way, I feel like, to help sift through all that data a little bit more quickly and efficiently. So excited for you guys to give this a listen and let us know what you think in the comments.
Enjoy it. Welcome to The Modern Hotelier, the most engaged podcast in hospitality. Don't forget to follow, like, and subscribe, and let us know in the comments what you think about today's episode. Steve, who do we have on the program today?
Yeah, David, excited about today's conversation. We have on the 2026 winner of the NYU SPS Incubator, Bakhtawer Baloch, the founder of Clairdoc. Welcome to the show, Bakhtawer. How are you doing today?
I'm doing amazing. Very excited to be here and very excited to meet you too. Yeah.
Thank you so much. So again, congratulations on the win. We're going to jump in and we're going to ask you some lightning round questions. We're going to get to know your background better, and then we're going to talk about your company and what's next for you. Sound good?
Yeah, sounds amazing.
All right. So when you were little, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Initially, I wanted to be a lawyer because I used to argue a lot, and my dad said I would make a lot of money out of that. But then once I went to a kind of a show, and I put like I was selling stickers there. And I made 1,000 rupees, Pakistani rupees, and from 100 Pakistani rupees. So when I came home, I had all of this money, and my dad was like, "Where did you find this much money?" I was like, "I sold all my stickers." He's like, "How much did you sell it?" I was like, "I sold one for 100." He's like, "How much did you buy it?" I was like, I bought for 10. He's like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I am always going to sell this. This is what I want to do in the future." So yeah, I want to be an entrepreneur.
All right. That's great. So what's something that you wish you were better at?
I wish I was better at public speaking. Yeah.
Okay. So you can pick any person, dead or alive, to take to lunch. Who are you going to take?
I'm gonna take Muhammad Ali Jinnah. He was the founder of Pakistan, and he managed to get Pakistan a separate country from the British. So I thought that was very cool. Yeah.
Okay. And what's something that's on your bucket list?
On my bucket list, I have to make my company the next big tech company. So I think that is definitely on my bucket list. Yeah.
That was a great Bakhtawer. So now we're going to dive into your background a little bit. And you were born in Pakistan and now you're currently living in New York. How did growing up in Pakistan and now living in New York shape you into who you are today?
I think it's a very different experience. I am from an indigenous group in Pakistan. A part of the Baloch community where 80% of women don't really get educated. So I was the first one to go for my master's, to go for my graduation in my family. And my dad has always been very, very empowering. And he pushed me to pursue my dreams and to dream big and never to get scared or let my circumstances define what kind of life I want to have. So I think from Karachi to New York, it's been crazy. I've done my undergrad. I've 2 master's degrees now, thanks to NYU. I worked at Deloitte in consulting. I worked with Goldman. I worked at TikTok in AIML. It's been really fascinating and kind of a roller coaster ride. A lot of ups and downs, but very excited to be here.
So as you said, you're currently at NYU. You're in New York City. What led you to NYU and to New York City?
So I was actually running my first company, and I was based in Pakistan, and I was making a lot of money, and I was very happy. But I realized at some point that I was giving a lot of my life to making that money, and I felt like there has to be a more scalable business that I want to do. And so I was like, I want to move from a service oriented business to a product business. And I was like, the next products that I see becoming big are all AI products because it's a much more scalable business. So I was like, I cannot be a founder of an AI company if I don't understand AI. So I got into my master's program at NYU and I was studying database technologies and artificial intelligence. And I was like, you know what? I need to do this. And while I was doing my master's program, I started my second company. And yeah, that's Clairdoc. And that's how I got here.
Very cool. And I understand that one of your hobbies is photography. Is there any style of photography you like, or maybe a favorite shot you've had in the past?
I've had a lot of shots. I love landscape photography in general. I think nature is so beautiful. So I think any moment I get to capture that moment, I think is amazing because it's almost like it holds memories. So, you feel like your life stopped and you can go back and replay that. So, yeah.
I love that. Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. So now we're gonna dive into your career, how you started at Clairdocs here. So, like you mentioned in the past, you worked at Deloitte, TikTok, and this is not your first startup. You also founded a previous company. What have you learned from those previous roles that you take with you today?
I think I've changed careers a lot, and I think a lot of people like when they start their career, they have a very like formed opinion on of what they want to become. I think we should challenge that, and I think for me, I've challenged that a lot. Also have like an ACCA, which you can call a CPA in America. So I started with accounting and finance, and then I got into consulting, and then I got into entrepreneurship. I think like really knowing what do you enjoy doing, what is something you're really good at and you enjoy doing, and it also makes you have a good life. That triangle there is the perfect recipe for having a successful and happy career, because we spend so much time at work. We spend more time in our office with our colleagues than we spend with our spouses. So yeah.
Yeah, so you and I worked together through the NYU Accelerator. So tell everyone how you started Clairdoc and really how you got the idea to start the company and tell us more about it.
So when I was on my first company, we were doing medical billing for clinics and outpatient settings, and I couldn't help myself see like how many insurance claims were denied, and it felt really sad for the patients because they're the ones who end up paying it, and then sometimes the doctors have to spend a lot of money and time and energy when an insurance claim is denied. I know your podcast is for hospitality industry, so I guess you can understand this like operational leakage for hotels. A lot of money and time is wasted, and the customer suffers and the hotel suffers. So I was like, I want to solve this problem. And when I got into the incubator program, I had amazing advisors like you, David, like who helped me see like how can I really solve this problem and in a scalable way and in an efficient way. Because in order to solve a big problem like this, you have to start somewhere small and you have to go deep in it. So you understand. I spoke to over 50 clinicians just to be able to understand if this problem is real, if it exists, will they pay for it, how big it can get. And I think that experience, like talking to your users again and again, that's how you build a moat, is you have a unique insight on your problem and the solution that you're proposing. And that can come from customers.
Like you mentioned, you recently won the NYU pitch competition. Can you tell us a little bit more about what that process was look like it and how you prepared and how it all went?
So we've been working for over 5 months, and my advisors, like David, we were meeting, and I would come up with a go-to-market plan. I would come up with this is how I see my business going in the future. This is going to be my sales pitch. What do you guys think? And I even got all of them together on one call, and we reviewed the pitch. And David was very helpful, and the other advisors I definitely mentioned George. It was exceptionally helpful in this entire process for me, like reviewing the pitch and making sure that you get to tell your story. When I said like the one thing I want to work on is public speaking, like telling your story is so important. You can be really smart, but if you don't tell your story right, nobody's going to do that for you.
So in winning, that came with $20,000. What are you going to do with that money?
I'm going to expand my product, one, to other specialities. Two, I'm going to hire some contractors who can help me scale this. I actually recently went on the UpNow conference. There was around 400 doctors there. And I got a go-to-market person who knows every single clinician among the 10,000 clinicians in that distribution channel. And I said, you know what, man, let's sit down. I'm going to give you a commission, okay? Every single time you bring me a clinic and it passes, we're going to work in a partnership. And he said, Bakhtawer, I've been here 40 years, okay? I've been doing this for a long time, but I've never seen a girl your age come to me something like this. So you know what? I think you're strong. I think we can do this. I think partnerships, investing in relationships, investing in people, investing in the product, and investing in my pilots is what's going to get the business forward. I know a lot of people are very excited about fundraising and getting a lot of money first and then trying to find product market fit. But if you can get to product market fit quicker without raising like a lot of money from venture capitalists, then you have a much stronger, much valuable company in the long run. That's just my take on it.
So I have to ask, what does success look like for you, and what is the goal of Clairdoc?
I think of Clairdoc like I want every single clinic in America to use Clairdoc for all of their billing. That's what I want. And I think like billers should just be using their decision-making process where it's required, not for repetitive tasks. They should not be spending hours trying to send back the bills to the insurance companies and wait 3 months and spend a lot of time and energy on it. Patients should not have to suffer because of insurance companies and clinicians not getting administrative work right. And I think that Clairdoc can help do that. It can help solve the gap between insurance companies and medical billing teams.
Well, very cool. Very cool. So, our producer, John, has been listening this whole time. So, instead of us asking you another question, we're going to kick it over to him for one last question before we get you out of here.
This sounds like an awesome thing, and I think helpful for both sides, the client side and the healthcare side as well. I'm curious at this early stage, do you have any like big success stories or things that you've seen this really be impactful and or data that kind of supports what you're working towards?
So in most of our pilots, we're seeing 70% reduction in denials, which for me is extremely exciting because that means that I'm being able to help people, but also make money out of that. I think that's very cool. And we're currently working with our an EHR company that we're piloting with, and I'm gonna have another EHR company that is gonna start working with us like next week. So very excited about that also. I think that a lot of what we're working on is helping people and also like solving a problem. And when you do that on a repetitive basis, people hear you, people see you. So, yeah.
That's great. Well, that does it for another episode of The Modern Hotelier. This is where you get to plug away, tell people how they can get in touch with you, how they can find out more about Clairdoc, which I think is very important. So plug away.
If you want to learn more about Clairdoc, if you are suffering from insurance claim denials and you're not being able to figure out what to do, you can just go on www.clairdoc.com. And you can have my email also. You can reach out to me if you need any advice or if you can help in any way. I'm Bakhtawer. It's a hard name, but I'll spell it for you. Bakhtawer at clairdoc.com.
That's great. Well, that does it for another episode of The Modern Hotelier, the most engaged podcast in hospitality. So whether you're watching or listening, we appreciate you and hope to be again with you soon. And once again, congratulations, and we wish you all the success in the future.
Thank you so much, David. Thank you, guys.
You made it to the end of The Modern Hotelier. Thanks for watching or listening. The Modern Hotelier is produced by Modern Hotelier Media. Make sure to like and subscribe if you're listening on YouTube or subscribe wherever you get your podcast. If you know a good guest, sponsor, or have media needs, feel free to reach out to us at hello@themodernhotelier.com. Thanks and have a great day.